Hello everyone, I'm your host 2B, and this is a game of Ker Nethalas into the Midnight Throne. This is my setup here, a whole bunch of dice in many different colors to differentiate what I'm doing, and a lot of tables in front of me going from the difficulty, scavenging, to the hit locations, to traps effects, and I can move the sheets about to try and find whatever I am looking for. In front of me, this is off screen, is a exploration sheet, and on it is the method of how we explore in the game. Now, as I said before, my exploration system is slightly different from what is in the game, and what I do is I roll a d6, a d4, and another d4. The d6 determines on a 1 through 4 if it is a room, a 5 and a 6 is a corridor. The first d4 tells me how many openings this area has, and the other d4 is how many of those openings have a door, and that is pretty much it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just roll a d8 on that, and this is a d10. We start right here, number 3. We'll start over here. And the dungeoneering here as well. I'll do a roll here. This is indeed a room. It has one opening, and does it have a door? Well, I can only roll a 1, so yes, it does. And I kind of determine wherever the door goes is completely up to me. Here we are. That is nothing more than my room. So here's a short explanation of how I draw doors. I highly suggest you copy something similar to this, but what I do, I draw a rectangle and I split it down the middle, and on one side I have the L for a lock, on the other side I have the T for a trap, and whenever these are on the door, I know they are there. If I cross them with a diagonal line, I know that the lock or the trap is gone. If both the lock and the trap are gone, then the doors open and it will color the door entirely black. And of course, not to forget, there's always that particular nasty difficulty roll that is added underneath on the other side of the door, so I know I must solve that first. It's a very simple, very straightforward system, and also visibly on camera when you are looking top down on the game, it's quite helpful. So I hope you like it. The map is I will use the exploration sheet, and whatever I rolled, I'll write down. So for instance, if we have a room description, this is a D100, I'll roll a D100 on it, and this is room 37, so I'll draw R37. Mirrors shattered into jagged pieces create a distorting effect, distorting reality and reflecting haunting images. That is what we find in the room. If we are in the room, then we have done our description. One of the things that comes along is our tension check. So after we've done that, we roll a d8, as we so duly noted. Did that on my character sheet, not on my dungeoneering sheet. We also roll a d12, so I'm going to roll them together. If I roll a 1/2, then we mark one of these. The tension is already going down. Here we are. And this is a 9, so nothing happened. Then we roll a d20 for a encounter. I rolled an 18, so I immediately get into combat right here. So I'll draw an E right here, and a 6, a 3, 9. So I'll write down a 3 and a 9. Here we go. And I'll look up the monster, but let's just say we didn't get an encounter. If that's true, I'll roll according to the game, a event roll. Rolled 90, so I'll write down here EV90, so I know that that is this particular event. After we've done all that, we can scavenge, and I'll roll a scavenge skill check of 30. I rolled 85, so I failed that one, and I'll write down S85 and I'll underscore it. Whenever it's underscored, I know it's done. And that is, in practice, the entire flow of exploration, what is described right here. Because we are the Umbral Phantom, we can use 5 ether, and I'm going to mark a box around ether so we know that this is sustained, and sustained means that we use it and our ability is active all the time, and this reduces our ether by 5, not the maximum but the amount of ether that we have. So it goes from 13 to 8, and it cannot go any higher than this. So there's a -5 on this. And this means that we have activated our tier 1 ability of the Umbral Phantom, and we have dark vision all the time. We don't need to use any light source. We don't need to use any torch, any lamp oil. What I'll be doing is pretty much use this all the time. I just keep this turned on. I don't turn it off. We don't have to pay attention to light sources whenever you move into a room. So in practice, this rule here, we can ignore for our first game. If you are the Umbral Phantom, if you turned on that ability in this way. Otherwise, you need to run around with a torch in hand. Talking about hands, we have our Bastard Sword, and our Bastard Sword, we're getting into combat, so I will do that in the next video. Combat will explain a little bit more. What I'm doing is there's a lot of explanations going in, but we'll pick up everything as we go. The Bastard Sword, talking about hands, as I said, you need to hold your torch to go through the dungeon to see things. Since we're the Umbral Phantom, we have a sustained ability, we have dark vision, we don't need the torch, so we can hold this Bastard Sword in both hands. And if we scroll all the way to the back of the book, we find our weapon table. We find that our Bastard Sword has versatile and parry. I'm interested in the parry ability. In the parry, in the versatile ability, and when wielding with 2 hands, this weapon deals +1 damage. This is very nice, as I have shown right here, and I'm holding it with 2 hands, meaning the Umbral Phantom, it's not using a torch, so I have a free hand, so why not use the Bastard Sword for both hands, and this increases my damage modifier by +1. The other thing is parrying. We'll not go over that right now, because we have to do that in combat, which there is nothing else to do than to get into combat. I haven't explained, let's see. Just my old character name, Mikoyadora II. I forgot about that. There isn't really anything else other than doing our dungeoneering. And the dungeoneering we determined a room, we draw it on a map, we gave it a description, and we are in a combat encounter. So that is what I am going to do. To look that up, let's see. Yeah, I really have to do that in the next video. So over here in the next video, we will be fighting a number 3. So if we go to the encounter table, we have here 2 tables, table A, table B. This is a 3, so this is on the first table. The first table is 1, 2, 3, and it is monster 9. So Cavebound leech is what we'll be fighting. And yeah, in the next video we get into combat, see how that goes. So thank you very much for watching, and until the next, I'm your host 2B, and yeah, let's get into combat.